Hello, it's Wednesday. We're continuing our series, Being Like Jesus. Yesterday, we started by saying that if we want to have the mind and heart of Christ, we need to spend time in His Word and we need to spend time praying. Because God loves us and He accepts us for who we are, but He loves us too much to leave us there. He wants us to be like Jesus. That's the ultimate goal of Christianity. So someone reached out to me yesterday, say, Lafitte, how do you read the Bible? I've never read the Bible, and so I wanted to give you some tips. So first thing, if you have the Bible app, that's cool. But I want to recommend that you find a Bible with pages so that you can highlight, you can write, and record the thoughts that God is going to give you. Get a notebook, get a pen, and find a place and a time. So first thing in the morning, I wake up, I go to my place, which is the bathroom. Nobody's gonna bother me there. So I take my Bible, I take my journal, and I spend time. How long? It depends. It depends, because I only read one chapter a day. That's it. I read one chapter a day because, and I ask God, second thing you do is you pray. I say, Lord, as I open your word, give me something to live by. And then when I first started years ago, I started with the Gospels. So if this is the first time for you, I recommend starting with the Gospel of Mark. It's the shortest and it's the most action-packed. If you really want to get to know Jesus, start with Mark and then go to Matthew, then Luke, and then John. But this year I started from the book of Genesis. And so here we are in April. I'm up to 1 Samuel chapter 21. Now, some of us who have grown in the church, we heard these stories. So many times we start reading and like, yeah, I know the story. But let me remind all of us, the point of Bible study is not for information. It's for transformation. It is where God is going to speak to you, to me, and He's going to give us a message that pertains to me. So in 1 Samuel 21, this is the story of David. Right after he kills Goliath, remember, with the slingshot, and he's running away because King Saul wants to kill him. He's jealous. So he goes there in 21, and he lies to the priest to get some food. And then in verse 10, it says that day, David fled from Saul and went to Achish, king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances? And David, verse 12, took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So he pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands, he acted like a fool, making marks on the doors of the gates and letting saliva run down his beard. Now, I'm like, what is this, Lord? And I read it again, and I was about to go to the next chapter when God says, slow down. I have a word for you. And the word for me was, listen, Achish was the king of Gath. Remember in chapter 17, Lafitte? Goliath came from Gath. David just killed their champion. Why is David afraid? Oh, snap. David became afraid because once again, like what happens in my life, instead of facing a situation with faith, I faced the situation with fear. And David forgot that God was with him, with Goliath, and now he's in front of the king, and he acted the fool. And God said to me, Lafitte, how many times have you acted the fool whenever you tried to deal with the situation yourself instead of trusting me? So I wrote that in my journal, and I said, Lord, please forgive me. Thank you for the reminder. Help me to have the same faith that David had when he faced Goliath, not the fear that he had when he faced the king. And so, here's my thought. Today, find a Bible, find a notebook and a pen, find a place, and be quiet. Open up the Word, and let God speak a message to you. Listen, because He loves you and has a plan for you today. May God bless you, and that's my thought as I sit in my yellow chair. See you tomorrow.